Welcome to another episode of IKONTUBE, a show dedicated to the influencers industry. In this season, we interviewed some of the most popular influencers, and together, we will discover the path that they took to become a successful business owner. I'm your host, Christy Given. Today, I'm with a blogger, yoga instructor, and actress. Her blog is very popular and reaches thousands of readers around the globe. She has been successful in acting since 2010 and was part of a successful TV series, Perfect Storms, Disasters That Changed the World. I'm glad to welcome Azra Valani to IKONTUBE. Hi Azra, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your background.
So I was actually born in Kenya, and I moved to Canada when I was about 4.5, and I grew up in Canada.
Wow.
And then I eventually got a job in finance and quit my job one day on a whim, and I moved to Los Angeles.
Wow, that's incredible. So when did you start this career?
So when I moved to LA, I did not know anything about social media. I didn't know anything about Vine stars or YouTube. And then I'm also an actress, and while I was waiting for something to happen in my life, I decided that maybe I should look at the social media thing, because I heard about it and I heard that people were making money off of it. And so 4 years ago, I decided to post something on Instagram, and the rest is history.
That's amazing. So when did you find out that you wanted to make this like your full-time career?
Maybe 2 years ago is when I started getting, like, brands started contacting me. I started making money off of it. And then I decided like 8 months ago to start blogging as well. And I was making money off of blogging, and I was making money on Instagram, and I realized that this is actually something that you can potentially make a career.
That's incredible. So you literally left the job of finance. You're a smart blogger.
Thank you.
Love it, girl. Go, girl. So how much time do you typically spend on like an article or a post?
I usually tend to write something on Medium when I'm really inspired and something has affected me, or I really want to say something. So I usually spend about 30 minutes to 45 minutes.
Wow, that's incredible.
So it doesn't take so long because I'm inspired and that's something that I want to talk about.
Right.
And that's like usually what I do.
So it just comes naturally for you, and it's kind of like a therapeutic platform for you.
Yes, and it's very different from my Instagram, because I feel like my Instagram, all my captions are really funny. My posts are, well, I mean, I think they're funny. I'm assuming I'm funny.
They are funny.
Thank you. And my posts, I try to make them, silly, so when people come on my profile, they don't take it too seriously.
Right.
And they can kind of just unwind.
And you got to show your dog, Mirpa, too.
Yes, my dog.
You've got a little profile. You should go follow her dog, Mirpa.
Thank you, Mirpa from the block.
So cute.
And I rescued him.
Aww.
So I love posting things about him too. And I blog about him a lot. And so I love being able to express myself in a more serious, professional way on Medium versus my Instagram, where I'm just kind of shooting the,
That makes sense. So your blog is called P.S. I Love You.
It's actually just my name. So P.S. I Love You is a publication on Medium that I get to blog on.
Wonderful.
So basically on Medium, they have different publications, and you submit your articles to them.
That's great.
And P.S. I Love You posts some of my articles.
That's wonderful. I just love that I'm learning so much about, the influencer world. I feel like it's really expanded since Instagram, and there's just so much happening. So tell me more about like your distinct yoga videos and your take on body image on Instagram.
So I feel like a lot of people take yoga very seriously, and you can. That it's a great way to unwind and be able to let go. And I remember one time I was in a yoga class like 6 years ago, and an instructor came up to me and said, you can smile. It's okay to laugh. And I didn't know that, because when you're in a class, typically you kind of measure yourself up to people around you, and you don't want to go into child's pose because you're afraid that, you might look weak in class or you don't belong there. And so when I started my Instagram page, I wanted it to be something really silly, and I wanted people to say, oh wow, she does yoga while reading a book in a bathing suit. And I think that that's just a funny way to do it. I like to be engaging in daily activities while doing yoga, whereas other people like to teach it on Instagram. I just want people to come to my profile and say, oh, this is funny.
And also just to showcase your personality and that you're unique, right?
Exactly.
That's
I am
wonderful.
Unique.
You are unique. And what advice would you give your younger self?
I think the one thing that I would tell myself is, like, I deal with anxiety and I write about that, but I think that even if you have anxiety or you have fear, you should just still do things. Because there's a lot of opportunities when I was younger that I just didn't do. So many things that I didn't do. Like when I was in college, we have this, like, I'm Canadian, so it's called Frosh Week. And it's like this 1 week that you get to go and like hang out with everybody in their first year. And I didn't do that because I was so anxious and scared. And I wish I just did it, because you're not gonna die at the end of it. I mean, you might, but you won't typically. So, and life is short, and just being able to just go out there and do the things that you love.
I agree with that.
Or want to do.
Yeah, I believe in having faith over fear. I think that like stepping out and, you know, believing is so important in life, because you just, you know, you just don't have a guarantee. And that brings me to my next question. So what things in life are still like a mystery to you?
It's so funny that you ask in life, and we just talked about how life is so short. And like, I feel like everything in life is a mystery and you're always learning. But my biggest question is, what are we doing here? Like, what happens after you die? Where do you go? Do you die? Like, my biggest fear is being buried alive. So I'm like, I'm gonna be cremated. No one's gonna put me in a coffin, because I used to watch Days of Our Lives and a girl named Hope got buried alive. And so those are my big things. Like, those are my questions. Like, what happens if that happens?
We'll talk after the program. Are you working on any new projects?
Yes, I actually am. I am working on a podcast right now. And I also do want to put out yoga videos that are a little more serious and teaching more yoga on YouTube. So that's something that I'm currently working on.
Great.
I don't really know how I'm going to go about it, but that's something that I really do want to do.
So you want to do like kind of like yoga classes on YouTube and tutorials type
because
of things?
I feel like with yoga, it's so expensive for people to go to classes, but it's also a really good form of therapy. And when people can't afford therapy, they can do yoga. But for some reason, yoga is so exclusive, you can't get in if you don't pay $150 a month, or you don't pay $23 a month.
And also the other thing is, right now, since a lot of things are shut down, like the internet's so helpful.
That's what I've been using. I've been using YouTube, and like after the pandemic, my big thing is I want to start teaching yoga to like at homeless shelters for free, because I feel like a lot of people, and there's a lot of students, there's a program called School on Wheels in LA, and it's for kids that are homeless, and they tutor them.
That's wonderful.
There's all these programs that you can actually be part of and create a yoga program for people to be able to practice yoga. And that's something that I really want to do, to bring that
bring the health and wellness to the kids, basically.
Exactly, and primarily women who are homeless as well, because I feel like it gives them that 10 minutes to just really decompress, and that's something that I don't think a lot of homeless people have, especially if they're living in shelters or on the streets.
Absolutely.
There's no time for yourself.
Well, it was so wonderful talking with you. You have a beautiful heart, and it was so lovely meeting you, and thank you for being on the show today.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Please like and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and see you soon.